There it goes.
There we go.
There it goes. What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday afternoon on
It
this
is.
cold, miserable, wet day.
Hey, this is our first live of the year.
First live of the year.
I just noticed that.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Waiting for everybody to come on in.
So come on in, folks.
Oh, no,
Happy New Year. Even though we've said it quite a few times.
yeah, we did.
What have we got going on? So hopefully the computer does okay because I am currently exporting video on our video editor, and I was hoping it'd be done before we started this, but it's not.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's one of these days I have to get a new computer.
Computer.
Something. Well, I would actually like to have a desktop and not just my laptop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now that we got a home that we're not in yet.
I know, not in
Yeah.
yet. Not in yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they got 5 inches of snow in Missouri.
5 inches of snow in Missouri.
That's nice.
Y'all keep that up there.
Don't bring it down here.
That must be more towards the north side of Missouri. Yeah, I haven't talked to my mom today to see because I know a lot of the wall went past, and that all that is still going on towards it's more getting into Tennessee and that whole line. So we only had maybe 3 hours worth of rain.
Yeah,
4 hours worth of rain. It was still a lot. I mean, we had quite a bit of rain come through, and with everything already being saturated the way that it is, that our hillside is just sopping wet. And everything's the pond. Even though the pond went down some because we didn't have any rain for a good 5 days, but with this rain coming through and all the water that's going to come out of the ridge, it's going to probably come back up. So St. Charles, Missouri. Gotcha.
There.
Yeah, because
that's why my phone had.
Yeah, because Mom's in Springfield. So
Oh yeah.
I didn't do it.
No, you didn't. It was a flashlight. Was like on the whole time, so it drained my battery.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like, what's going on here? Yeah.
So yeah, Glad's been over here doing bracelets.
Oh, not. Yeah, I have. I had finished.
That's exactly what you're doing.
I had finished Dad's bracelet first because he asked me to do one for him to replace the other one that he had his little medallion in. So I did that, and then Anson told me.
I could probably show you an example.
A while ago. He thought that one of the bracelets that I had made. He thought one of them that I had made was for him, and I was like, "No, it's for me. I didn't think you were gonna wear."
Yeah.
So he's
I'd
like,
wear one.
I was like, okay.
Well, I don't know who this one was.
That was mine.
One of yours.
That was one of mine.
Yeah, because it actually has a clip.
Yeah,
that we can take
you
it
can put
off.
a little hoop on it if you wanted to, instead of having your normal one where you can tie. But he wanted to be able to take his off and on, and I didn't want to put any clips on it. So
one of these days, she's actually going to have a craft room, and we might have to do a video on some of the crafting type stuff that we do.
Well, there is going to be a lot of crafting in the future.
Yeah.
For sure, because
Hello.
I have a home to decorate because I did kind of give away and sold a lot of things when we moved here.
Stuff.
So, we were talking about making some furniture for a home from the trees here.
Because I already have quite a few logs that I still need to process. Even though I don't have a sawmill yet, I can still rough mill stuff with a chainsaw. but that's kind of the look that we're wanting to go for anyway. Is more of that. What do we say is like the rustic boho?
Yeah, yeah.
That bohemian rustic.
It's
type
like
stuff.
a boho black or bohemian black farmhouse kind of look.
Yeah.
And
Like a cross between stuff like that. Yeah.
So we wanted to do that.
Greg and Gina, hey.
So we got a lot of trees, so we're not in a hurry to build.
That's where Kim's at right now, in her craft room, working with the cricket.
With a cricket, I haven't had a cricket. Mm. I have not gotten a cricket. Heard a lot.
Yeah, she would really like to get one, along with it was one of the embroidery machines. She would really like to get one of those too.
Embroidery machines.
It's going to be a bit, because actually the shed room that mom and dad are in right now, that is the craft room. Yeah, so once their cabin is finished, which we're actually going to be going back on that here, probably starting the end of this month.
We'll be doing a lot of moving around stuff.
But obviously, we're still going to be doing a lot of like material gathering, because we still need to finish a lot of the concrete over there, and it's kind of hard to do that with freezing temperatures, because you don't want your concrete to freeze. Obviously, no. It doesn't cure properly if it's really, really cold, unless you're able to have, like, we can always put up like a temporary structure with wrapping it with plastic and then put like heaters and stuff in there. If that's something that we might be able to do during the winter time, we can definitely look into doing something like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, because our winter here really isn't that long. It's only like a month and a half, 2 months at most, and it's going to start warming back up enough to where we can do concrete.
Yeah.
So if we can just gather the materials, and then, once it's actually, we get a good couple days that we know it's not going to get into like stupid freezing temperatures, we'll finish out the piers that we need to do. Because I think there's 12 piers left that we still need to make. So, yeah, cold and dry now in Springfield, Missouri. Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I haven't talked to my mom yet. That's where they're at. Mm-hmm. Just to see how it's going. So here is getting cold. The winds are starting to pick up, because we had rain this morning.
Yes.
A lot of rain in a short amount of time, and then the sun came out for a little bit. Actually, it was starting to feel pretty nice.
Oh no! And then it got back.
And then now the backside of the low, right, that's coming through, because that all spins in a counterclockwise. So now the backside of that low is starting to come through now. So it's all overcast again, and it's getting pretty cold. So
pretty chilly.
So yeah, we've just been in watching movies, making bracelets. I've been doing a lot of editing type stuff. Mm-hmm. I think I have all of our videos set for next week.
Mm-hmm. You've been doing 30-minute videos. I think this was going to be their longest one.
Yeah, I've been trying to break. So the stuff for the plumbing, I actually broke that up into a 2-part. So that'll be coming out Monday, Wednesday. Yeah. And then Friday's video is going to be back long again. It will be another hour-long video, because I didn't really want to break that up. So we got the power done, and the water, at least, it's not connected to the well house yet, but we do have it going out from underneath the house down to a valve box. So with that, because we had to have everything underneath the house done so they can do the skirting.
Yes.
And that's ready. And we're also ready for the HVAC guys to come out.
Last thing to do is that
HVAC.
Yep, the HVAC.
So hopefully, and then with doing, obviously we still need the backhoe to come out to help with some digging type stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'll get the guy out here to hook up the tank and be good to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's about it. So hopefully next month we'll be able to move in. Hoping. It's not much of a move in either. It's a very quick move in. Mattresses over there.
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
that furniture wise, like we're gonna walk in and it's gonna be very echoey because yeah, almost all the furniture that we had in Virginia, we either sold, or donated or threw away or just some of the older stuff. But yeah, we're gonna be going through.
It's gonna, you know what it's gonna feel like,
It's gonna be
baby?
weird.
It's gonna feel like we're young adults that finally left the coop, and you have your first apartment.
You have your first apartment with an air bed, and that's what it's gonna feel like.
That's what it's definitely gonna feel like. Oh man, I thought we were over those days.
No,
but it's gonna be awesome though, because we're out of this, and we're able to have everything in the inside. Washing clothes is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Not having to wash it outside.
Not having to go outside to wash clothes.
Going outside to get stuff from the refrigerator.
Yeah. Not have to go out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You can stay inside, get everything done right there and then.
Yeah. I don't have to go dump septic tanks every 3 days.
Yeah, that
which
too.
That video didn't do too hot. I guess people don't want to watch poop.
No. Their poop days are over, babe. They're on to better things.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of great. Well, I do know, and obviously thank y'all, for definitely going through and watching a lot of the Gathering House videos. So far, those have been, the best videos that we've been posting, view wise.
Yeah.
And then anything dealing with the RV. And I know that there's a pretty big RV community out there.
They're over
whatnot,
it.
But
well,
I thought that it would do better, but this
RV has been through a lot. Has been lived
like one of our worst videos
for a long time. So yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about RVs and
So Glow TV.
Some RVs
Hello.
Are meant for that, for living in. Others are not. Those are meant for just traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So long time watcher. Well, we thank you.
Wow. Hi. Yeah.
Joe, howdy.
From Eastern Iowa.
Yeah.
How's it going over there? Are they getting any?
I'm pretty sure you're getting some snow too. Yeah.
I can feel it now. Normally we turn off the heater in the morning because it's not that cold.
Yeah, we can feel the temperature dropping
right now.
The definitely. Plus, I can always tell too, like whenever the high pressures or low pressures go through, because like my ears will pop. I don't know if it's just something, and I've had that for a very long time. Yeah. That I can always tell whenever the pressures outside change. I'm like a walking barometer or something because every single time, and it actually happened this morning that I know exactly whenever the front came through, that low pressure had passed us because my left ear just started going beep.
I was gonna say the ringing. Yeah, that's always with us.
Every single time.
Ringing in the ear.
From Jamaica's. Jamaican
all the way over there. That's awesome. Reaching all the way over there.
Oh, we definitely thank you for joining us.
Yep.
So, what are some of the big ticket items that we got on our bucket list for this year?
I have a list,
We do have a list.
I have a list. Where did I put my list?
So, yeah.
Well, one of them.
I mean, obviously, we're talking about the Gathering House, right? That we hopefully will be in that by the end of the month.
Yeah, the Gathering. Yeah, it was just big things. Well, the things that we needed to move in.
Yeah.
The things that we needed to move in. So they're going to connect that.
Well, that's not even for the year.
No.
That's just stuff just to get into the house.
Yeah. So, and we've pretty much crossed every single one of those.
Yeah.
For this year, we are going to be clearing out some land up in the front. This time it's going to be
surprise, clearing more land.
Right up in the front. Gosh, right. I love that.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
We're going to be clearing up some more land up there. Another thing is getting some help moving the sheds.
Yep.
Because we're going to be moving them.
Which that one shouldn't be too bad because it's staying in the exact same orientation of what it's sitting now. So the shed room, once it gets converted over to
an art room,
which it'll be emptied out
But-
whenever we move it,
Mhm.
but it's just gonna have to slide to the right about 100 feet.
And then from that, we're going to end up moving Yaya's playroom
Yep.
on over there as well. So that's going to go up on the slab too.
Yeah.
So we're just going to leave this spot here pretty much open in order for us to fence it in and bring more chickens. So we're dividing this area here
Mhm.
for meat chickens and for egg chickens. So that's what we're going to be doing here.
Yep. So a lot of fencing will be going up this year,
Yes, we got to bring in more dirt too.
and getting ready for animals. Be able to bring in some more animals. So fencing will be going in.
Yep.
More
dirt.
We definitely want to get some type of garden going.
Yes.
It's probably not going to be the forever garden,
It's just going to be a temporary.
but we are going to be getting some stuff going for a garden this season.
Yes.
So we'll definitely try to get that up. Obviously, that's going to have to be fenced into because obviously we still have a lot of rabbits in the area, deer in the area, things. So we don't want them going in there and getting stuff. So we'll have to put up some type of fencing for that. Which I've actually thought about doing more of like the older stuff. So if you look at some of the garden fencing that they did like back 1800s type stuff, it's all wood fence, but it's all hand split.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually one of the things I have showed her.
We saw that when we went to one of those gatherings.
Yeah, the
blacksmith gathering in Virginia. And I love the way that they had their fencing because their fence was always at a spike, right?
Yep.
Like a pointy spike.
Yeah, so the chickens still won't land on it.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Helps
we
keep
do
the chickens
have
out.
to some of their wings.
Mhm.
They don't fly because the ones that we have, they fly up. Yaya's playroom.
Yeah.
Like nothing. And then Max is in the bottom, like, I can't do nothing
He's like,
because
"I
he's
can't
chunky
fly."
and he can't fly.
Yeah. Yep.
Max just gives attitude to everybody.
And then one of the other buildings, so obviously going to be getting back onto mom and dad's
Yes.
cabin this year.
Mhm.
Whether we get that finished by the end of the year, that's the goal. That's
The goal is to get it finished.
Be the main project.
Yes. We
is
do
mom and
have
dad's cabin.
we do have someone that has some material, but we need to make a trip to that place that's holding on to some material for them.
Yeah.
So that's
free material, but you got to travel to go get it.
Got to travel to get it. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That will help a lot. I'm hoping at least get it 75% done.
Hmm.
Even if it's to a point where you can live in it, but still have to, fix a couple of things. It's fine. This year.
No, because I know how mom is, and the second that she moves in somewhere, and even if you're watching, mom, I already know if you move in, all work inside stops because everything goes up on the walls. You can't do this. You can't do that.
We're not going to do that.
She starts. No, it's going to be 100% finished,
and then she can.
And then she's allowed to move in because the second that she moves in, all work stops.
I know, right? Mom
because all of her stuff gets in the way.
Yeah, mom's got a lot of things.
Yeah.
But that'll be awesome. It'd be that's our goal.
Yeah.
They got to move over there this year. Yeah, because mom always drives when she comes in and out of the property. She always looks at it and she's like, she's ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she's ready.
Yeah, and I've fully understand why she's ready and stuff like that.
It's a beautiful piece up there. Beautiful piece.
So we're looking at doing what did we say it was, a 24 by 30?
I believe it is, or was it a 30 by 30? I don't remember.
I know it's not square.
Honestly.
I know it's not square. It's more rectangular-ish.
Maybe it was a 24 by 30.
It's one bedroom, one bath.
Mm-hmm. And it's very decent size. Yeah. Pretty big, the rooms.
It's pretty much all open concepts, kind of like what we're doing. So a lot of the living room, dining room, kitchen is all open concepts.
Half of it is that, and half of it is all open. The other half is pretty much just the bedroom and the restroom.
Yeah.
The restroom. But everything's big. and then their porch.
Then a porch in the front and a porch in the back.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be a wraparound. It's just two separate.
Yeah,
porches.
the one in the back is going to be bigger than the one in the front because they want to put like their grill out there.
Yeah.
They want to have that space to see that creek because sometimes the creek will overflow if it's like super rainy, like those rainy years that ever so often come by. They can just sit right out there.
That's the other reason too of why everything's going to be elevated.
But so, yeah, it's going to be a beautiful.
Yeah, because the back side of their cabin will be pretty close to like 3 feet up off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So even with the most rain, like it was like 100-year flood area that we had here last year.
Yeah.
And even then, that the water from that creek had just it didn't touch like where their footings are, but it would have only went maybe 4 to 6 inches up onto the footing.
Yeah.
Of the concrete footing, and we're still putting a 6x6. Beam coming off of that.
Yeah, we want to be
before we start doing. Well, it's going to be a 6x6 post coming up, and then the beams, and then on top of the beams will be the floor joists.
Yeah.
So the house is going to be a good 3 foot up off the ground.
Yep, it's nice. Maybe they can sit at the edge and then put their feet in there as the water's going or something. Or Dad can go fishing off of his porch.
Well, I don't think it'll. Well, I don't. No, the porch won't go that far back.
No, it won't. But
But the creek is only seasonal, so it's really only once, twice out of the year that it goes up and over the bank.
Yeah, and this year it only dried up maybe
Lauren
once.
and Joel's in the house making it home,
but it didn't dry up as much as like we thought it would. It didn't dry up that much this year. It was once. It almost got close to completely.
Yeah, it didn't dry completely.
And that's one thing we were going to fix, the creek.
Yeah, a few areas of the creek.
A few areas of the creek
will be getting fixed, yeah.
Because you have shallow areas and then it goes like kind of like that. So
yeah.
We've seen some spots that we really wanted just to flow nicely so it doesn't stay completely stagnant.
Yeah. Yeah, because actually one of the areas that's right here by the gathering house, the creek, it actually takes a turn, and that area, I do want to kind of reinforce that bank and start bringing a lot of that material back because it's almost like a U shape, right? So I already know if I kind of move some of that material over, that it won't be like a complete straight line, but it'll take out that area.
Yeah, because you have it.
Water's never going to stay straight. It's always going to do this.
Yeah, you have it where it also splits. It splits into two, and then it joins back together.
Over by there, because the area where we're doing the shop, because we do plan on fencing that off as well. For that's going to be like the goat area and stuff. Other animals might get her cow. Probably not this year, but eventually. And then. But the water that comes through the culvert, like the very first culvert that we installed, we have to reroute that water because a lot of the water that comes out of the ridge line, it actually goes through like right behind where the shop is. Yeah. Kind of pulls up, but then kind of cuts back to the creek. So it kind of flood a lot of that area back there, and we don't want it to do that.
Same thing with where the house is. Where the home is, we're going to be doing some French drains to redirect the water away from there, and we're also going to add more dirt back there just to keep everything compact. Yeah,
a lot of the water that comes out of the ridge, there's a few spots that it seeps out.
Just a few.
And a lot of dirt work. We in our future, probably not this year. That'll probably be next year that we start doing a lot of the stuff here. Other buildings.
For the home right now, we can just put a trench out there, kind of like we did at Mom's shed part, redirect the water out of the way. But
fish off the back porch for salvage stuff during the floods.
Yeah.
I don't think. They won't be that close. I mean,
the most because we're just.
If they ever wanted to have like a pier kind of going towards the creek, but that area. Right there where their home is because it does have, that's where like the concrete culverts are of our side road.
Yeah.
And there are fish that goes that is in there, but everything that's right behind their home, a lot of that water only stays about anywhere between 6 inches to a foot deep until it passes their place, and then it gets another area that's deep right before the bridge.
That's why when
and
we're
then
digging,
it kind of comes back up again.
when we're fixing that, the creek, it'll be able to flow a lot better without it just splitting and going almost towards their porch and then out.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes it go. It's better than doing the wall that we thought we were gonna do. Mm-hmm.
Now, well, we're still gonna do some type of wall over there.
Yeah, not a,
yeah, because the area that's right there by the concrete culverts, it has like a little lower basin, and that is there for a reason, and it's to allow the flood waters to be able to go right there.
And then,
but then it kind of comes and it cuts back into the creek right before their cabin, which we've shown that before.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you can go back and check that out. But if it goes past those two areas and fills up that basin completely, then as long as we put a wall right there, it doesn't even have to be like ginormous, just a foot tall.
It's
all kind of like the area right there where their house is, even something that could be decorative.
Oh, I'm sure she'll always find a way to decorate.
Yeah, and with that, it's just kind of a second reinforcement to say, hey, we're not going to flood our backyard. We're not going to flood the house, which I already know the house isn't going to flood, but it's just so the water's not coming up into their yard.
Yeah, just like Joe said.
Is what it's going to be for.
Mitigation areas almost in place.
Yeah. Okay. And this, we probably will not get to that project this year because the biggest thing that we are going to try to get done this year is garden, their cabin, as much as we can. We're going to get fencing done for animals, and then the dad and I's shop build that we've been doing on the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
So those are our 4 major projects for the year.
Yep.
Of what we're doing. So
Lauren Joy is saying it's flipping cold outside.
It
is.
Yeah, yuck. Exactly.
That's
why we've been inside all day.
Yeah, yesterday was like very nice in the morning, and I was helping him outside with some electrical, and then it started getting so cold, and I was like, nope, my toesies are cold.
Yeah, it was
like, I'm good.
Which we wanted to get everything done before all this weather came in, and there's only one thing that we didn't get done, and I will have to go get some more materials tomorrow. That way I can get that finished up, but we're gonna have to let stuff dry out a little bit.
Yes,
because it's something I have to do underneath the house. But even if they were to come in to do skirting, I can still get under there to finish doing what, because it'll probably take me
a couple of minutes.
No, I would say at least an hour
to
get everything done.
Yes, yeah. But if you get all the measurements done correctly, and then all of the, should be. Yeah.
Look, I would just leave it on the spool and just do it as I'm going.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then an hour.
Yeah.
So there's that. So.
Grappling hooks on paracord for salvage fishing. Yeah. We actually have a big magnet too.
Yeah.
That I've been wanting to throw into the pond to see if there's any metal in there.
Well, that's another thing too. We're also interested in how deep the pond is, because when you went in there with your waders, you didn't go far. Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't make it very far before it came all the way up to the top of my waders. So I know that pond is deeper. I'm 5'10", so by the time it gets up to my chest, it's already getting to above the 5 foot mark, and I was only 8 foot away from 6 to 8 foot away from the shoreline.
We could probably get you a floaty and go out there.
No, at some point,
or a little canoe or something.
Yeah, I do want to get like a little John boat or something I can put in there because I do want to get like a depth finder, or even go out there with the boat and just a string, or a magnet went out just to see kind of how far.
Yeah, curious about it. Yeah, because we don't know how deep it is. Yeah, even
It's why they can dig a crawl space to get under the skirting too. Was we don't necessarily because the skirting will have a door.
Yeah.
And so the lowest part of the house is what did you say, like 20 inches off the ground?
Yeah, the one on this side. Yeah, it's shorter.
Each block, so each of the standard, cinder blocks is 9 inches, and it has 2, so that's 18.
Yeah.
And then it's a 4-inch block.
Yeah.
So that's 22, and then there's 3/4 inch of wood with wedges. So.
And then it just keeps getting,
pretty close to 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, you keep getting a lot more space the closer you get towards the creek.
And then, further down to the right hand side of the house, it's 3 blocks. Yeah, there's
a lot of room.
I can almost be on my hands and knees, even at the lowest part.
Yeah.
And still be able to crawl around. But I do more of the army shuffle because I have bad knees and it hurts.
Well, at the same time, we have rocks. We didn't get any sand down there. But we were planning on getting some plywood or something like that we can lay down as a strip to be able to crawl in.
Yeah.
If need be. But yeah.
Yeah, because, there's should be no reason why I need to go completely underneath the house for anything.
Because everything's directly there. It's
all
in hand's reach.
Because where I want them to install the door, because we get one door, that door is going to be installed right there where there's going to be a clean out for the sewage. I also have another clean out that's on the outside of the skirting, and then there's also going to be I installed a ball valve for our water underneath the house, because we also have in our laundry room
there's a
another water shut off for the whole house. So that's going to be kind of like a double valve protection type thing if needed.
Same thing with our sewage wash.
Yeah.
You have 2 places you can wash it through, and you have 2 places that you can have access to in case anything gets clogged up.
Yeah.
So you were thinking ahead to make our life easier.
Yeah. Plus, also thinking ahead too, installing the water that I've been putting in tees, so that way, and then I put a cap on it. So if I want water to extend, to keep going further, I can have another hydrant or faucet or anything like that down there. I already have that tee there. All I have to do is just push the pipe in and go. And I've also been doing the same thing outside of the house, of where even when they're done with the skirting, down by the valve box, that way we can run water line up to the front of the house. So I've already been thinking ahead. Like I said, you guys will get a chance to see all that stuff coming this coming week of what we did to get all that done.
Definitely.
And this one got a chance to work with 4.0 service wire for the first time. A lot of fun, isn't it?
No, it was not fun. Man, I did a lot of tab works that I was laying in bed yesterday stretching. And I was like, oh, my abs.
Yeah, she thought I gave her the hard part of that electrical job.
Excuse me, when you say pool and I'm trying to pool and there's nothing to pool. And then you come here and you put all your weight on it, and it's like,
yeah, 4.0. I mean, because that wire, if you've never dealt with the 4.0 aluminum service wire, it's as big around as a nickel.
Then arthritis hands, not arthritis hands.
But I do have a hurt thumb that is still healing.
Because you don't want to go and see the doc.
No. Because like I always say, they're just going to rub some dirt on it.
That's why my kids don't talk to him.
Go rub some dirt on it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, they don't. My kids are always like, my oldest is like, I can't tell dad nothing. I have to wait like 2-3 business days to be like, yes, I'm in pain. Now we can go see a doc. Because he'll be like, rub dirt on it.
Go rub some dirt on it. Yeah. Got him trained.
Yeah, we were laughing so bad. We both had gone to one of her appointments, and we were just laughing in the waiting area about dad and put dirt on it. But yeah,
it happens.
Let's see, what do we got? It says hello Gladys and her friend.
Best friend.
Yeah,
her pain in the butt. Yeah.
Yeah, you are my pain.
I am.
Yes, you are. just like yours.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. He has to get everywhere he goes to get up.
Charlie.
If he gets up and leaves here, where you going? Where you going? Where you going?
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't get up to go use the restroom without this one saying, "What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Where are you going?
Need a hand?
No. Can't stay, but want to say hi. No, that's fine. We still thank you for dropping in.
I was like, it's because I love you.
You love me.
I want to know what you're doing. There's no such thing.
You don't need to hold my hand when I'm going to
always
Dookies.
I know I can't do that. You throw bombs in there. It's okay. Oh, man. Just like thank you, Mom, for your mom for giving us that can of beans. That started something in this house. Gosh. I mean, they're good beans, but man, was there war that night and the next night and the next night.
Because it's canned beans. They weren't fresh beans.
Yeah.
That's why.
Even Mom was saying that too. She was like, "You're dead. Just throwing bombs everywhere." It's like, yeah, we were too. Just tell you. You gotta do homemade beans.
Yeah. Never go wrong with homemade beans. You never know what's going to be in them cans.
Yeah, I know, right? At least she doesn't tag along when you go to the restroom. No, I don't. That's one of the things I told him about the restroom in the house. It has a little nook area where the restroom is on the master bedroom. Yeah, and I said that's going to need a door. I don't care what kind of door it is, but it's going to need a door right there because, you don't want to go and wash your hands, brush your teeth, and someone's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love you so much, but that's where we draw the line.
But it's also perfect, too, because the bathroom, that master bathroom, well, for one, you have to go through the master to get into the closet. Mm-hmm. And if you guys have not seen, when was it? I think 2 or 3 of the Scuttlebutts ago, our side channel, right? If you didn't know that we do a side channel, the Scuttlebutt with IFF. I did briefly talk just one thing in there that if you've never watched the movie Encanto, right? There's a character in there named Bruno. And that's one big thing is that nobody talks about Bruno, right? And I did talk in there that nobody talks about G. Leaving it at that. Okay, so we're moving into the master bedroom. And the girls now get their own bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we're kind of planning out and doing what we want to do. So now that we talk about the master room, that's our room. So
either way,
a lot of things that we're going to be doing.
Either way, in that master bedroom, in that restroom, either way, there was going to be a door no matter what.
Yeah.
There, so that there was more privacy. But it does have the vent area very close.
Yeah, the vent's right above the toilet. So I'm going to put in, it's going to be kind of like a restroom door, like what you would see in a public restroom.
Stalls.
But like a stall door, but it's actually going to be with a cedar. It's going to be a little more rustic-y type, but it won't go all the way floor to ceiling. But it will be close enough. I'm not going to leave it like, because some of those have like a foot to 2 feet where you can almost see people's knees when you go to a public restroom, right?
I don't want to see your knees.
No, so it's still going to be down towards the floor, but it'll be like 6 inches off the floor.
Yeah.
And then it'll go up high enough to where as people are sitting that no one can just walk in and look over the door, right?
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot to do. I did get some furniture from over there. So it's going to be put to good use.
Yep.
We need it in the house.
Have a lot of woodworking projects coming up.
A lot of woodworking projects, yes.
So I'll be showing all those, any type of furniture builds, anything that we're doing.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of woodworking type building videos coming out from
wood art.
Me.
From me. I do have some.
A lot of her crafting projects. So.
Yeah, I do have some that I have saved, some crafting projects from way back then that are going to be put up as well. They're going to come come out.
Which I know she hasn't put it because there is a playlist of crafting with Gladys,
But
she hasn't done anything in a long time. At least not filmed anyway.
yeah, so it's about
Because
time.
she does a lot of these, and she hasn't filmed not a single one.
No, why? This is just it's a hobby.
I know.
It's a calming hobby. Whenever my hands don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So some people just have hobbies that they don't want to show people. I guess.
Sure.
Sure. I mean, you can pull up thread videos anywhere.
I'm sure you can.
I'm sure you can.
And I'm sure those people make some good money doing it. But yeah, I understand. Because the second that you take a hobby and you turn it into a job,
it's no
it's
longer,
no longer very fun. Hence the reason why I don't sell anything from the blacksmith shop. I do give stuff away, but that's because that's my prerogative. That is more of a hobby for me. I don't do that as a full-time job.
Yeah, but yeah.
And yes, obviously, I will mention memberships, right? Thanks to our members that are out there, because actually one of our memberships that we do have is for something from the blacksmith shop. But that is actually the reason why, because you can go in there, obviously the intro member is less than $1, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the Cluck Cluck gang, and then you have, right, there's the weird stuff.
We're going to gift you a chicken.
Obviously, you do get a chance. Everybody has like those little icons and stuff that you can use, right? Early access to videos normally for the Cluck Cluck gang higher. And then we have the Highland Heroes. And then I forgot what the other one was. But it's the reason why that one is so expensive at the highest level is because you get something from the blacksmith shop. So even if you're only a member for 1 month out of that thing, you're going to get something from the blacksmith shop. Words are hard.
You got it, babe.
Every single month, right? Even though it could be something small, it could be a hook, or it could be anything, stuff like that. Meat flippers, different things. It's obviously a project of whatever I'm working on.
I still want my meat flipper.
Yeah, she still wants her stuff, right? So
it's been forever, guys.
That's not something that's going to be requested. So if you become a member of that level, then you just get what you get, type thing. Plus, stuff from like Bonfire Store and everything like that.
Like my dad has a set, the burger flipper set, spatula,
the steak. Yeah, he has,
and a steak fork. I think it was.
Yeah, it's the barbecue fork.
Yes.
And then the spatula.
Yeah. But I want the meat flipper.
Yeah, steak flipper. Well, yeah, I need to do everything.
I know, right? And I'm still waiting for
this. I think the last steak flipper that I did was actually for Simple Life Reclaimed.
I think so. Yeah.
That one was a gnome.
Yeah.
A good gnome.
The one that he has been trying to work on was my uli or ulu.
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 So yeah, it's actually a type of Alaskan knife.
Yes, it's beautiful. He tried to crack on it. Get it? Because he cracked. But he did try to make it, and
yeah. Well, that one I was actually using recycled metal from an old saw blade, and that old saw blade had a lot of stress fractures in it. And whenever I went to do the hardening process after I was completely 100% done with everything I needed to do, because it wasn't, because a lot of people will do like stock removal. I didn't necessarily want to do that. I wanted to be able to hand forge a lot of the stuff. And whenever I went to do the hardening process, it broke 4 times. I redid it 4 times.
But yeah, you've been, and that's what I like, because you like to experiment on all the other metals to see which one will do good.
So I'm going to get some better metal for that and then do it again.
I like that.
But I cannot wait to get back in, because obviously this metal building that is here that I was using for the blacksmith shop, it has a lot of leaks in it. A lot of my stuff that's in there are soaking wet, to include my tools.
Yes.
Table saw that's in there, my workbench, some of the stuff that's in there is getting rusted. Hence the reason why I want that other shop. That way I can get it a little better closed in. Um, Even then, that shop over there, in the long run,
It's gonna be demolished.
is not going to be demolished, but it's going to be. No, it's not.
Hey,
So
it's gonna be rebuilt to something else.
it will turn into something else because actually, right here, kind of where the shed room is right now, is where other shops and stuff like that are going to go. So they'll be a little closer. Things that I can, for like a woodworking shop, I to have something with power on the other side of the pond. That's all off grid, right?
So
That's
it'll
all.
be demolished. So it's okay.
It's going to turn into storage.
Not that we can redo the building, but that building is just.
It's not going to get demolished.
Let's see, guys, in the next episode.
I can tell you right now, I'm not putting all this work into something like that and then just tearing it down. Never going to happen.
What, that metal thing? I know, guys.
She doesn't have say so in this. No.
We've never discussed this one.
Oh, we have. And you've already told me I can't build someplace, and I agreed to that. But that side over there and that side over there was mine, and I don't need permissions to do anything.
What, this metal building?
This metal building is going down. Yes, I'm talking about the other building.
What other building? I was talking about this metal building. What other metal building? Which one?
The building that's going on the other side of the pond is what I'm talking about.
Oh, where the wood is at right now? The wood fence? See, you don't even know what I was talking about, guys. I was talking about this building right here.
Everything right here is getting torn down. We've already talked about that.
I know we did. You see, he wasn't in the same mindset I was in. I was talking about this building.
Everybody, we've talked about that since day one.
I know.
That all of this right here was getting torn down. That all of this right here is temporary.
Yes, it is. All of it is temporary.
I said the new shop that is being built is not going to stay a shop forever.
No, not that one.
I'm going to have other shops.
Even though it's very pretty, I do like the pieces of wood. That
You're the one not following along with the conversation.
I'm following along.
See what I can do?
But it's nice though because those big old beams you've got going on over there, it makes it look nice. I don't know.
Go big, go home. That's what I always say.
I know, right? That's pretty cool. They're pretty big. When I was up there,
yeah, that's what she said.
Hey, I know, right? I'll tell you, even though I'm a minister, I'm also a joker.
Oh, Paul says a lot of things. Not always nice.
But yeah,
no, my grandpa, because actually both of my grandpas on my dad and my mom's side were preachers, and yeah, I know how it goes.
I know you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jokers indeed.
Yeah, I do like those. What are you gonna do with those when you finally put your shed up? Can I keep them?
What are you talking about? See, now what are you talking about?
The thing we're talking about, the ones that you just put up.
The new shop that's getting built is going to get turned into storage eventually for lumber and hay.
And what are you doing with those logs you put up there? Are they staying? Yeah, just like what those said. Yeah.
What do you mean our logs staying?
The logs that you put up there like this. The ones that are in the holes over there by the other side of the pond. Are they staying?
She's not following. I swear to God, y'all, this right here is not a dye job, but I do think that she legitimately has blonde hair.
No, I don't. I was just asking. You said you were going to put a shed over there.
That is a shed.
I told you, and you said you were going to replace it the last time
No,
you said that. You said that the last time, and I said no. I said no, you should leave it because it looks awesome.
It's not getting tore down.
Okay, good.
It's getting changed.
He tells me one thing, and then he tells me
no, I don't.
Another.
You just don't follow along with nothing. She's like this every day.
No.
Every day.
You're so
It drives
silly.
me crazy.
Oh, but you love me.
I
So.
know. What's going on, Brett?
Yeah, peace on the phone here. Boopies. Boopies?
Boo.
Boopies.
Boopies. Not boobies. Boo.
Boopies.
No. I
I don't know.
don't know.
Now my face hurts now.
My face hurts. Yeah.
And what's that little emoji? Oh, okay.
Laughing, crying.
Oh, you're a butt face. You're a butt face. Butt piece.
Now
I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah. That's B-U-T, not B-U-T-T.
Butt piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Where's
hey,
Gladys She Shed going to be located? If it was up to him, it'd be all the way up there.
No. Well, actually, the shed room that mom and dad are in now, that whenever that gets turned into the art studio, that is the she shed. So that one is actually coming all the way closest to the gathering house. So where the power pole is, that's what we talked about earlier. Whenever that is all done, said and done, it's going to move 100 feet to the right, closer to the gathering house.
Yeah. So hopefully next year it'll be an art studio she shed.
Yeah, because the only thing, we are going to add something to that. So if you kind of look to see kind of like what Mike did over at Washita Mountain Living, how he added the doorway thing to his little shed.
Yeah, like sticking out, like a little.
Yeah, because he redid his porch to turn it into a living room, right? And then he added a doorway. We're going to do the same thing to that shed. So
yes, because
we're going to add
when we were looking at it,
little mud room to it.
Or we're looking at it when we're at that shed, the art room shed thing.
Yeah.
That was the first one we're going to put at the very far edge, close to the home, and then where we're going to put the playroom. Yeah. So the playroom is obviously smaller than that shed, than the big shed there. Yeah. So that's why we're going to put that door hallway thing. So it kind of comes out at the same.
Yeah, the 8
evens out at the same.
The 8-foot width type thing
as the small shed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool.
And then basically, so it's going to be, and this probably not going to happen this year. It's one of the biggest reasons why we weren't really talking about it yet.
But he's still talking about it.
Always, right? Well, she's normally the one who loves to spill the beans.
Oh, I don't care. It's fine. People need to know.
That area is going to be her she shed art studio, and then we're gonna, like I said, add the mudroom to it, and then it's going to be the playroom.
Well, it's going to be. It's an art studio. My mom likes to do art. I like to do art. Everybody in this house likes to do art.
Yeah.
So that's where we're gonna go and do art.
Right.
Whether it be anything and everything.
And then from there, you know, we're still because on the side of the hill is we're actually going to be doing a cellar. So depending on where buildings lay, right, is going to kind of determine, because we don't obviously want to block that. We need to kind of incorporate that into what's going to be going on. Yeah. So cellars obviously also going to be not only food storage, but it's also going to be a shelter.
Yeah.
So for storm shelter. So it's going to be kind of a multi-purpose type thing, something that will require power going in there, because if we're going in there for storm reasons, we do want power to be in there, you know, for a light or stuff to be able to have, because, you know, we don't want the kids going in there with like a lantern being scared out of their mitts, right? So we're going to do that, but then we still would like to have other buildings along that whole line, the whole ridge line, to include the blacksmith shop, woodworking shop, an automotive shop.
Yeah.
To be able to work on vehicles and tractors and all those things.
That what Dad loves to do.
Yeah, it's the stuff that Dad loves to do.
So they'll have their men sheds.
Yeah, and that's all going to go right there. She still wants some type of like a butcher area, place to be able to, you know, not inside the house, but a place to be able to butcher animals that we're raising, and have, you know, some type of walk-in refrigerator, so that way we have a place to store meat to kind of, because a lot of times whenever you're doing butchering on your own, you want to be able to age that meat for a few days in a refrigerator before you finish processing it.
Yeah.
So to be able to have a place to do that, that's one of the things that we're looking to do.
Yep, that's me. Here's a pot to empty for the beans. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
So that's basically all that stuff's kind of going to be going in that line right there on the ridge. So obviously we're going to have to clean up the edge of the ridge. We're going to have to put in some type of wall system, water retainment, all those things, whether we incorporate a lot of, because I was thinking about, since you have to do a retaining wall anyway, to utilize a portion of that retaining wall as the back wall of the building. So it would be at least a 6 foot to 8 foot tall retaining wall, by the time we're done leveling out the ground and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then be able to utilize that. But we don't, other than her building and the playhouse, we don't know 100% certain of like where all the rest of the buildings are going to go in what order, other than the very last building at the very end will be the mechanic shop.
That way the
because
vehicles come in and out.
The vehicles coming in and out of the driveway where the driveway already is already established. We're able to just go right into that building.
Yeah.
So that's the only buildings that we know are going where they're going.
Makes it easy.
Yeah. And then stuff for here, kind of like where the RV and stuff is, will be garden space.
Yeah.
Other little
neatly
chicken coop type stuff. Small, nothing big barny stuff because she doesn't want to block the view of the pond.
No, I don't.
She doesn't want to block the view of the creek.
I like to see the chickens and everything.
So we're not going to be putting any like large structures. It probably all be stuff smaller than what the chicken coop is now, for the most part. Probably nothing. If we do another chicken coop, because we want to have different types, because that chicken coop here is going to be strictly for egg production hens. That's what I built it for. But we'll need other stuff for, meat chickens if we want to do meat chickens. Another like little chicken coop thing for Max for if we have other roosters or whatnot. Because this chicken coop here is going to be hens only.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just strictly egg production.
Now we have the other female hen started laying eggs.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of eggs.
So far. I mean, we only got the two hens, so.
But yeah. Eventually we'll get more. I know that I have an uncle in Texas that has some chickens too that he's trying to get rid of. So who knows? So we'll bring those chickens over here too. And yeah, that pond is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that was one of our biggest selling points.
Dad did a lot of work there, and he's made it very beautiful. You bought an 18 count of 18 eggs.
$14.
14. Yeah. Wow. Yes. What was it?
Sounds
it's
like
right. 20 something for the whole box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like.
Yeah, because Mom and Dad eat eggs almost every single day.
I don't eat eggs every day.
She doesn't. I would. I don't mind that.
But
because I don't really like cooking.
Eggs are expensive. Yes, they are. So, well, I cook.
Not breakfast.
I cook breakfast on Saturdays. I do.
Yeah.
Saturdays breakfast, and I'll make you pancakes, waffles, anything.
Yeah.
Biscuit and gravy.
I'm either going to start
or whatever,
like meal prepping type stuff. Because
I'm a dinner person.
I would rather meal prep for breakfast, where I can just kind of like grab and go type thing.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting here and cooking and sitting down to eat and then getting up and going, I'd rather just go like a breakfast burrito or a sandwich or just something that I can just.
Yep, that's what they do.
Bagel and cream cheese.
I'm big on coffee every morning.
Oh, I love my coffee too. Yeah.
Saturdays.
Yeah, she normally doesn't eat breakfast a whole lot. Just her coffee.
Just my coffee. Maybe a toast bread here or there, but breakfast is on Saturdays. If you want like a big spread of breakfast.
Her avocado toast.
No, I don't have. I don't even have avocado. Avocados are expensive.
They are. I know. But we're just about getting to the end of our time frame.
Yeah.
I do believe, I don't know, I haven't checked to see, which actually we're already past.
We are. We are 2 minutes past.
Yeah, I don't know if Black Sheep Project was going live today. Definitely get over there and check them out if they are. I try to redirect and stuff like that, but they never have it pre-scheduled. They always do it right at the time they're going to do it if they go.
Keep a lookout and see.
And then I know after them, a lot of times it's Peter from Old King Homestead, Old Man King Homestead. So definitely go check them out. And we thank y'all for coming in.
Thank y'all so much for staying with us and remembering we're here.
Yeah.
And
we're this close. We're almost inside the house, y'all.
With our shenanigans.
Can't wait.
And with his. All right, guys.
All right.
Bye. Put your boobies away, baby.
I know, right? Get out of here. See, you keep bumping me and I can't turn it off.
Come on.